Quisiera saber cómo te puede beneficiar de solo una semana de revisión. Do you want to know how you can benefit from only 1 week of review? Vamos a empezar. Let's get started. Finalmente, mis amigos, I finally finished my first week of the 30-day Record Yourself Challenge by Think Tam Languages, and I'm feeling pretty good. But what do I do now? Doing this challenge is a fun way of measuring your progress in your Spanish language learning journey. And we do this by analyzing our recordings and asking ourselves a few questions. Reviewing the results that our study sessions produce, like the speaking challenge, because it is a form of study, is a crucial tool in learning Spanish. The first question I asked myself is, how did I feel overall during this week? Did I feel very scared while I was making my videos, or did I feel very confident? Al principio, mis amigos, at first, my friends, I was extremely confident because I had already done this challenge once last year, so I felt very prepared because since then, I've been studying constantly. In addition, I've had hours and upon hours of conversations with native Spanish speakers about various topics. Then once I got started, I got a reality check. Although I got through those 1 minute long videos, I realized that there was some areas that I needed to improve in. Aparentemente, me falta el vocabulario. Apparently, I lack a vocab because there's a lot of questions where I just could not think of the right words that were related to that specific topic. So you probably noticed that I had a lot of pauses when I was speaking. And that's the reason why, because I was thinking of what I wanted to say, but nothing was coming to my head at the time. Also, instead of having that one right word that I wanted to say, like el barco, the boat, I would just ramble on and try to explain what that item was because I couldn't remember what that word was. Como que esa cosa que está en la agua y está flotando. Like that thing that's in the water that's floating. So that's what I do when I can't remember vocabulary. It's very strange, and I'm trying to fix it, obviously, because it's very embarrassing, but we're gonna get there. My conjugation wasn't too bad, thankfully. I have been focusing particularly on the past tenses, or the two primary past tenses, the preterite and the imperfect tense in Spanish. So it has been a lot smoother for me to explain a story that has happened to me in the past. And before, it wasn't always like that because these are probably the most two challenging tenses, I would say, that there are for a lot of Spanish learners, and especially for me. But I didn't have to think for about 5-10 seconds. How do I conjugate? Should it be jugo? Jugaste, jugué. I didn't have to do that, thankfully, just from putting in so much work. So I didn't have to suffer too much with those two tenses because I have put a lot of study time in those and made sure that I got them down. My pacing, it wasn't that bad. I actually tried to make sure that I didn't talk too fast because I love to speak very fast in Spanish, if you haven't figured that out yet. So usually when that happens, I end up having a lot of pronunciation errors. But this time that didn't happen because I want to make sure that I'm speaking as smoothly and clearly as possible. And by taking that advice, my mouth won't be going faster than my mind can work. Yo luché mucho con la pronunciación. I fought a lot with pronunciation. And I would say mainly it happened because I was trying to force too much of my accent. Este acento dominicano me mata. Like I was just too focused on that. So when I do try to speak in this Dominican accent, it really draws my attention away from pronouncing the word correctly because it takes a lot of energy to, for example, conjugate a word and generate your idea for that sentence. And then also, once that is finished, say that, but in an accent because it takes a lot of energy to create an accent as well. So I think forcing the accent and trying in a combination of that and talking too fast makes my pronunciation really messed up because I also end up repeating my words, like yo voy a hacer, hacer. I don't know why I do that, but it drives me absolutely crazy. So I think I just need to slow down and make sure I pronounce the words as they should without trying to add too much flair to it. Expressing myself. Que lástima. I would give myself an F on this part of the challenge because I felt extremely uncomfortable doing it and I felt very robotic as well. So that's why I gave you guys this tip of asking the question, act like you're the person asking the question, and then respond to it. So it's a little bit more dynamic and it's just not so rigid because that's how I felt. Like I was just responding to a question and then like that's it. There's nobody here. It's just me, and I don't know. It should be fairly simple, but for me, I was making it I think way more complicated than I needed to be. So I just closed down too much instead of expressing myself and smiling more and enjoying what I was saying like I usually do it in a normal conversation. Another good point is that I was extremely tired if you did not notice. I was doing these recordings like maybe around nine or so or something like that. And this was like literally like the last thing on my list of the day. So I was beyond exhausted. I didn't really feel like doing it. So at that moment in time, I'm just like, I'm just gonna do this recording like as fast as possible and not put too much effort into it. So that was also a huge reason why I wasn't really expressing myself, wasn't very animated, and my energy was extremely low. Now we get to the best part of this challenge and finding out how can I improve to make sure I'm getting the results that I want from this challenge, to be able to speak a lot better, to have more descriptive stories, and be able to have more fluid conversations. I know that I really need to sit down, take my time, and prepare myself a little bit more before I actually start recording these 1 minute long videos. Because like I said beforehand, I did not put too much effort into it and I kind of just try to do it as fast as I can. But when it comes to our study sessions, they shouldn't be just something that you do on a whim, that you're going to do as quickly as possible, but something that you're going to put a lot of energy into, you're going to put a lot of thought into it. So for example, I'm going to sit down maybe for a few minutes, look up some vocabulary words that I would like to include in my story, or whatever that question may be, so I can have a good recording that's very descriptive, because that's also actually one of my goals, is to be more descriptive, to express myself better. And to do that, I need to start using newer vocabulary and also including new phrases as well that I'm learning, so I'm able to accomplish that goal. Also, I want to make sure that I am getting enough rest from night to night, because I was extremely tired every single night that I was doing the recording. So I want to make sure that I have enough energy to put into my studies. If not, then I'm going to rearrange my schedule. So I know for sure that I would like to do these recordings at a different time when I'm not exhausted. So probably right after work, or maybe when I get back from the gym, just a few hours earlier, so I can get the most benefit from this challenge, because I want to increase my speaking skills. I do want to have more deeper conversations with people. I want to be able to not have to sit here for 5-10 seconds and try to think of what I want to say. Then also, I'm going to make sure that I am not talking too fast, rapidísimo, so I can make sure that I'm having very clear and smooth sentences and not just trying to have a million words a minute, because that doesn't really value your conversation if you can talk really fast, but you're pronouncing everything incorrectly, and whatever you're trying to say doesn't make any sense. Now you know a really good method to measure your progress with this review session. As you can see, it didn't take much. Only 1 minute videos for 7 days. And look at all the feedback I was able to give myself. I also hope that you see the value in these review sessions and you start to incorporate them in your study sessions, so you can start seeing a lot of improvements in your language skills. Thank you all for watching. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section below, How do you feel about this challenge? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And are you able to see improvements day to day with your challenge? Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and hit that notification bell so you can be updated for upcoming videos. Hasta luego.